Hi everybody, this is Deborah Baska and I am so excited to be here. I am waiting just a moment to get approved into the group and then we're gonna go live and talk about some exciting things. Just looking at my screen here. Yay, I'm live, I'm in. Welcome, welcome. I am Deborah Baska and I'm so happy to be here today to share some of my tips with you. I am a Beachbody coach and I've been a full-time coach. I've been very blessed to be able to make this be my full-time job for 5.5 years. So I came out of corporate America and it's absolutely amazing. One of the reasons that I chose this company is because my husband and I both changed our lives with the actual products. So if you're not familiar with Beachbody, we are health and fitness. We're the #1 name in fitness throughout the world with brands such as 21 Day Fix and P90X and Insanity and Size. And I am even in the Size infomercial. So you may see this face on TV at 2 o'clock in the morning one of these days. And then you won't be surprised. You'll be wondering, who is that girl? I've seen her before. So so we are absolutely, like many of you, we are advocates of the products that we represent, which is absolutely key, in my opinion, to transitioning out of a corporate or traditional job into something as untraditional as network marketing, right? If you don't know how amazing network marketing is, then you would probably wonder, well, why would I go do that? Now that we're in it, we are all like, we absolutely know why we would do it. But before, the reason we did it is because we love the products and we were already sharing how much we love them. So I'm going to give you 3 of my tips for success because, like I said, I've been in this business for over 5 years and our team has been in the top ranked teams of our business for all 5 of those years. So when I look back at what has been the difference between my success as a network marketer, coming from a background of very traditional business, never having had any experience in sales or really relationship building, I'm an introvert, I'm not a natural born social person. How was I able to be successful in a business like this where others are not or may not have been? So my #1 tip is mental mindset mojo. And I actually do a training for the teams in our company called the 5 difference makers. What has made the difference in my success or anyone's success versus not. And mental mindset mojo is always my #1 tip. And that's your personal development. That is one of the vital behaviors in our business. And I know that for myself and for so many coaches that I've talked to, they've said, if nothing ever came of this business, just the fact that I have grown so much through personal development, that has made my whole life different. And that's the value of personal development. And I would advocate this to anybody, whether or not you're in business for yourself or not. So what is personal development? It's putting good stuff into your mind, right? Because a lot of times being alone in our head with our own thoughts is really not the best company, right? And so, mental mindset mojo, I have done so much of that over the time. I've gone from being a glass is half empty girl to a glass is half full to being hopeless to hopeful. And I've just, changed my outlook on how I view the world. We choose our attitudes, and it's some of the things that I started doing when I first became a coach, because I was told to, not because I wanted to. At the end of a long day working in your corporate job, who wants to come home and dive into some Darren Hardy or, John Maxwell? We want to sit and watch Netflix, right? But I was told this is one of the vital behaviors, and to be successful in this business, you need to grow yourself. There's a quote about your income will grow exponentially in line with how you grow. Well, that was enough for me. I was like, if that's the truth, then I'm going to start growing myself. And if this is how you do it, then I guess, I'll do it. 10 minutes a day of audio. So I would pick an audio book and then like 10 pages of a regular book. That was what I was told to do. I mean, we can all do that, right? So the 5 books that I started with are The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, which is very similar to The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, because Jeff Olson was mentored under Darren Hardy. Go for No, Yes is the Destination, because we get a lot of no's in this business, right? And it's not a bad thing, right? You just, you have to, the more people you're talking to, the more no's you're going to get, but the more yeses you're going to get too. Number 3 was Eat That Frog, which really taught me a lot about procrastination. And even today I use that, because there's things in our business that we don't like so much. Like, I don't really like to, talk to people about the business opportunity. Or this thing over here makes me really uncomfortable. Well, with Eat That Frog, I still use it to say, okay, that's your frog. You just need to do that first before you do anything else. And then The Attractor Factor was an amazing listen on audio by Joe Vitale. And then GoPro by Eric Worre. I mean, it's kind of like the network marketer's manual. So those are the things that I started with. I actually have a book list on my website. So if anybody wants me to post that link, I can share that. But I just have tons and tons of books that I can recommend. The second tip that I have for you is you got to own it. You got to own your own success. You cannot blame anybody else. You cannot blame your upline for not training you. You have to own it, because you're the CEO of your own business, right? You don't have a boss. I mean, that's why I love this business. I had a boss for 20 years. And even if you have a good boss, they're still your boss, and they're still in control of your future. They're still in control of your pay. They're in control of so much. And when you decide to go into business for yourself, then you have to realize that now you're the boss, right? You're the boss. That means you have to own it. You have to take responsibility for knowing what you need to do. You have to take responsibility for, if you don't know, for asking. Don't try to, I have some on my team that are super independent, and they're almost too independent in that I think they think if they ask for help, then that's a sign of weakness. But then you have the others on the other side of the spectrum that they're really not so interested in seeking the answers for themselves. They just want to be told. And then there's people that they just want to be told what to do every day. And I'm just, if you want to be told what to do every day, then being your own boss, being in direct sales, it may not be the business for you, right? Because I have to, when I came home from working in corporate America and I had to structure my own day and, plan out my work and make sure I got the right things done, it was challenging. But that is definitely, you have to own it. Do more. Don't just do the bare minimum, do more. I had somebody comment to me, they said, Deb, I don't know how you do it. And I was, it's like, well, I've told, and here's the other thing. There's really no secret sauce, right? So you need to own that too. There's no secret sauce. There's not some, your upline is not keeping some secret from you that, that they're keeping just for themselves so that they can be successful and you can't, right? So do more. And that means, when that person said to me, I don't know how you do it. It's like, well, I've told you what I do, and I do it, and I do more than the bare minimum. And I do it every day. Consistency. I've heard some people talk about that. I do it every day. And if I do it again the next day, and then I do it again the next day, and if it's not working, if I'm not getting the desired response, I'm going to tweak it just a little. I'm going to try something a little different, and then I'm going to keep doing it. And I've been doing that for almost 6 years now, right? Almost 6 years. My anniversary is May, so I'm still at 5.5. But you got to own it. You got to do more. You got to seek knowledge. Don't just rely on, hey, how do I do this? I am quite certain that you have tools in your training materials. Ours is an online office that tells you there's FAQs, there's all kinds of information. I was always told first to seek the answer, to try to find the solution before I came to my boss with the problem, right? That's what I was taught. So I try to teach my coaches that as well, I want them to learn to be independent, right? Oh yeah, I've already gone over that. So my number 3 tip is be hungry. And what I mean, this is really, I think, the key differentiator is be hungry. And that means, if you do want to make your side gig your full-time gig, if that's really important to you, if you really want to be home with your kids, or have extra income so that you can do, sock away money for college, or pay for your mortgage, or ease the financial burden that you have in your family, whatever your why is. We all know what your why is. You've got to be really fierce about it. We used to talk about the why that makes you cry. Well, I really like to think about the why that makes you fierce. The why that makes you fierce and almost like angry. Darren Hardy, he has a thing called Darren Daily. So if you aren't listening to that, that's a really great personal development tool. But he had a Darren Daily, which he titled Get Pissed. And I was like, oh, wow. And when I was listening to that and he was telling me what he meant by that, I was just like high-fiving and pumping my arm, because that's exactly how I felt when I decided that I wasn't going to be in corporate America anymore. I was so fierce about it, and I was so pissed. I'm like, I'm not going back to that. I'm not going to feel like that anymore. I'm not going to live the next 20 years of my life like that. And here's why you have to be hungry. If you want to be really, if you want to make a viable income and make this be your job, right? Your career. Because there's always going to be things. You're busy ladies, you're busy people, right? You have kids, you have spouses, you have full-time jobs. Some of you maybe have 2 jobs. You're toting kids around to sporting events. You're a PTA president. You're, the Girl Scout leader, or the Cub Scout leader. You're involved with your church. You're doing volunteer work. You're helping your parents. You're busy. And when you're trying to add more busy into your already busy, if you don't have a serious, fierce why, then why bother? And that's going to be the question you have to face every day, is why bother? Why bother not watching this Netflix show tonight in favor of doing my personal development reading? Why bother, making that contact with that person that really intimidates me? I'll just stay here in my safe zone. Why bother? You have to be fierce about your why. So those are my 3 tips. My favorite product from my company right now is called Beachbody On Demand. And we've had Beachbody On Demand for over a year now, and it actually allows us to stream our workouts instead of just having DVDs. And I have all of my workouts in DVDs because I've been in this business a while. So, DVDs scratch, they get lost. Now we have them all in a streaming format, but we just came out with an all access. So now every single workout we've ever made, as well as all the new ones that we're launching this year, are all available in Beachbody On Demand. So we can offer that to people for a 12-month membership. So much cheaper than a gym. All of the materials are there, the program guides, the workout calendars, the meal plans. It's amazing. I love it. I can't talk about it enough because I use it myself every single day. Finally, I want to conclude. I want to say, first of all, thank you guys so much for jumping on here. You never know who's going to show up. And I have to say that I don't sit around my house looking like this every day, because I am in the fitness business, right? A lot of times I have messy hair, don't care going on. But I told Melanie I have my makeup on and my hair fixed, and I have on regular clothes just for you guys. But I have a lot of favorite motivational quotes. Obviously, when you do a lot of personal development, that tends to happen. But there's one that I saw yesterday that I really liked, and I want to share this with you and leave this as your parting thought. Don't get sidetracked by people who are not on track. You are on track for greatness. You are on track for a different way of life, for a better way of life for yourself, for your family, to help others, to help women feel their best, look their best. You are on track. So do not ever be sidetracked by those that do not share that passion. Have a great Friday, and thank you so much for tuning in.